I'm doing this just for you. Now it's just me and you.
Hi and welcome to Soul Sanctuary. In this video I'll be showing you what to do before wearing your sneakers. Now you don't have to do every single thing that I detail in this video. In fact, I don't even do this to all my kicks. Personally, if I cherish a shoe, I go the extra mile to take care of it since I did spend my hard-earned money on it. Now let's get started. Before using your shoes, you need to do 3 things. Number 1, use sneaker shields and shoe trees. Sneaker shields actually protect your shoes from creasing. Now these sneaker shields could actually be bought from the Sneaker Shield website or from eBay or even OLX here in the Philippines. Now I suggest using these flexible white universals for shoes that are less valuable and these black rigid protectors for your more valuable shoes. Let me warn you now, these sneaker shields, especially the protectors, will hurt almost to the point of tears. Make sure that you have shoes that are at least half a size bigger. Now, if you use these sneaker shields on shoes that are true to your size, you might actually end up transforming your foot into an old Chinese lady's lotus foot. Now sneaker shields can only actually be used for basketball shoes or other shoes that have big toe boxes like the Nike SB Dunks, the Air Jordans and so on. So when it comes to runners and other formal shoes like dress shoes, you can actually use shoe trees instead. Now these shoe trees actually act as a stretcher you put inside your shoes, just like this. Curve it up a little bit like that, and you have your toe box completely stretched out. So you actually get to minimize the amount of creasing on your shoes before and after wearing them. Number 2, use rain and stain repellents. Now rain and stain repellents actually come in different types. You have the aerosol types, pump action types, and even ones that are made specifically for suede. I use these suede only protectors for obviously suede shoes. Personally, I don't know if these actually make a difference, if any at all. Now in terms of rain and stain repellents, I usually use these pump action types for almost all my shoes. I used to use these aerosol types for my shoes. Personally, I find these are actually cheaper and they provide a better protective layer for your shoes. The problem is, whenever I actually spray these, it gets me a little bit woozy. It's like I've actually just had a hit of Wari muscle spray. Now you Filipinos know exactly what I'm talking about. Whenever I spray these, I get really high and my chest actually began to hurt. So what I used to do is when I spray these, I actually use a painter's mask to protect my lungs. If you want to keep your lungs fresh, make sure to use these pump action repellents like the ones that I got from Hush Puppies. They do the job well enough and you get to keep your lungs staying really fresh. Now how often do you need to spray these? Once every 3 wears. Now what if you have more than 50 shoes? How are you supposed to keep track of all of this? Well, you're just going to have to use your brain a little bit more in this one. Number 3. Check the weather. I actually personally use this app called AccuWeather. AccuWeather actually gives me accurate weather forecasts hour by hour. If I know that it's actually going to rain hard, I tend not to wear these grails out. I opt to wear one of my beaters instead. Beaters are shoes that you don't mind wearing whatever the weather might be. I don't actually mind if it's going to rain. I'm going to wear these anyway. Now rain and stain repellents are actually fine if it's only drizzling outside. You can actually risk wearing your Holy Grail shoes. If you're not quite sure how bad the weather could be, you can actually bring some spare shoes in your car, like these Vans that I have right here. If you don't have a car, you could always put your extra shoes in your bag. Now, if it starts raining really hard, you can always pull out your shoes from your bag or your car. Then you could actually proceed to switch up your shoes, and now your Holy Grails are safe. Now really quickly, what are you supposed to be doing while actually wearing your shoes? Just 2 things. Number 1, like I've said earlier, make sure that you bring beaters. Vans are the perfect pair of beaters to bring around as spare shoes. The reason being is because Vans are very lightweight, they don't take up a lot of space, and they look pretty damn good. They look good with almost everything. Vans are also relatively cheap, so you can always buy a couple of pairs to use as spare beaters. Number 2, be on the lookout. You should always be on the lookout for water puddles, muddy areas, naughty little children, and big crowds. Now your kicks are bound to be stepped on or grimed up if you encounter any of these. But it's not like you could always avoid them. Just be aware. Now anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. If you like it, share, subscribe, and keep searching for that perfect pair.